Hiya, it's Megan from BMB Bridal. Today I'm going to be trying on the absolutely stunning Launceston by Dando London and I'll let you know what I think. Okay, so I've got her on. This is Launceston by Dando London and she is £1,603, which I think is a great price for the sort of quality of Dando. She's absolutely amazing. So she is a fitted gown, so slightly more sort of like trumpet, so it's really nice, sort of hugs the curves. A really sort of clean look, not got too much of a kick out at the bottom either, so it's just that sort of really sleek sort of silhouette. Really nice, sort of clean, simple sort of feel. It is sort of like this Mikado satin fabric, so really nice, thick, structured fabric, which is brilliant because I feel like really supported because it's got no straps because of this thick supported fabric. I don't really feel like I'm going anywhere. I feel really nice and brought in especially around the waist where it's got this little bit of oming. It's absolutely amazing, sort of like the structure of this. It has this sort of deep plunge down the middle, which I quite like. I feel like cause I haven't got much bust, I'm not like spilling out of it or anything too dramatic, but it really brings your attention into the centre of your waist, so plunge is really, really flattering. Also has this sort of collar detail, which I really like, especially with the off the shoulder. Again, I feel like it adds a little bit of something without drawing any attention to that area. The only downside to it is it does sort of flap open, sort of here, but it's nothing that the seams just can't fix with like a couple of stitches, sort of at that natural curve, and that'll keep it nice and sort of glued into you. And then those straps just tuck in right to the centre of the back, which I think looks really elegant, and sort of comes down to that sort of little V shape. Hasn't got loads in terms of detail, but I really love that. I think it's that sort of modern, clean silhouette. So she doesn't have any sparkle, so this is definitely for the bride that doesn't want to be too sparkly. It does have, though, this really gorgeous, sort of really modern, leafy sort of motif with the lace, which just sort of comes around the waist here, which is gorgeous for drawing attention to the waist and bringing you in even further, and also over the stomach. I really love this because I feel like if this dress was completely plain, after a couple of Prosecco's and my meal, if I'm bloated, you'd be able to see it, but these leaves sort of really cleverly hide that, so you can eat, drink, dance, and not worry about what that looks like. And this lace goes all the way around, sort of to the back and over the hips as well. Has that sort of gorgeous pearl detailing as well, which goes all the way down. I'd say this dress is definitely for the bride that wants to look sort of super elegant and classy. Isn't too sparkly, isn't too out there, but I think that is kind of where the drama comes from, because it's so clean and sleek and the silhouette is so dramatic. It sort of gives you all the drama with like none of the flash, so it's that sort of really elegant, simple vibe. Can definitely imagine this. It's definitely dramatic enough with the train for like a manor house, but also isn't too out there for like a barn wedding or anything like that as well. So I feel like she's a really versatile dress and will sort of suit a lot of venues. I think it's great, that sort of really sleek, sort of timeless bride as well. And I like the fact that it's quite modern, but still got that little bit of lace for that little bit of tradition as well. So it really does have that little bit of everything. I feel like the back on this is probably one of my favourites. So let me spin round and I'll show you the back to show you what I mean. Briefly mentioned, you know, this is quite a clean and simple sort of silhouette. It has got quite a lot of drama in this really long train, and it's got a gorgeous sort of pearl button that goes all the way down to the tip of the train as well. So a lot of brides really love that detail, and it's great as well for hiding your bustle. So when you want to clip your train up, when you want to have a dance, those buttons do come in handy. I'll try and come a little bit closer because I don't know if you'll see all the trains, it's so long. But yeah, it goes all the way down, just really steadily flares out as well. So yeah, even though it's quite a simple, sleek dress, it's got all the drama in it as well. And I'll come a little bit closer again, see if you can see these buttons at the back. So this sort of pearl sort of style button goes all the way down to the bottom. The sort of old wives' tale is as well as it buttons are supposed to be lucky on your wedding dress. So hopefully this is a lucky dress. But yeah, I hope you love it as much as we do. Now I've seen the dress sort of up close and personal, we'll see what it looks like with the veil. There's a couple that I'd pair it with. I'll show you my favourite one first. Okay, so the first veil that I've gone for is this super modern thick ribbon satin edge. So obviously the satin edge goes really well with the fabric in the dress, kind of brings out the more modern, clean sort of side of the dress compared to anything lacy. Let me bring it a little bit closer so you can see the detail. So yeah, that goes really nicely with that fabric, and I feel like it gives the dress a really nice frame as well. I definitely go long. I quite like a long veil with this silhouette. I feel like it frames the body really nicely. Yeah, I just think it matches really well, and it also means that the little detail that is on it really stands out, so it kind of draws the attention in, which I think is really gorgeous. Sometimes you don't need to go OTT with it, but if I was going to do a different veil, I think I'd match it with the lace here to sort of tie it in really well. I also like this veil though because it is plain apart from the ribbon. You can see through it and see all the button detail, because I know that a lot of brides really like that detail. It's nice to still see that and show it off, so you're not covering anything up or hiding anything. It just adds that little bit more elegance to it. I love a veil. I feel like you've got to wear a veil. So yeah, I think it just completes the look really nicely. Okay, so even though the satin ribbon is more my style, my personal style, I thought I'd show you this veil as well. So what I really love about this is that the lace goes all the way around the veil from sort of like head to toe. Sometimes you can get detail just at the bottom, which would work really nicely with this as well, but I quite like the way that if you imagine when you stood at the aisle with your bouquet, you can really see that sort of lace against your skin, and it really brings it sort of out of the detail in here as well, so it matches really nicely and ties in, so it still really goes with the dress. We've just matched it to the lace rather than the fabric. What I quite like about this veil as well is that it's got that little bit of sparkle in. I don't know if you'll be able to see it very well, but it's got a little diamante in it, so if you feel like the dress is lacking any sort of sparkle, if you do want to add a little splash, then the veil is the really nice way to do that. When you move it, just sort of catches the light really beautifully, and it has that all the way to the end as well, which is absolutely stunning. Dando is definitely one of my favourite designers here, so I hope you love this dress as much as I do. If you want to see what other dresses that we have in stock, feel free to head over to Beyond Big Bridal on Instagram, Facebook and our website, just sort of see what other dresses that we stock. Other than that, thank you so much for joining us. If you want to see more videos like this, definitely keep up to date with our YouTube and subscribe. We've been posting these regularly to talk through in depth on our favourite dresses. Thank you, see you later.